What's up, you guys? I want to start off by saying that I literally uploaded a video on Friday and I am so frustrated because I deleted it from my phone before it finished uploading and then it never uploaded. Anyways, let's jump into this video. I'm gonna try to move past that. And today, something that I want to talk about because I spend so much time looking up to people that really inspire me and motivate me, people that have mentored me, taught me. These can be like healers, they can be guides, they can be people that are super spiritually in touch, or they can just be people that are successful in an area that you want to learn about. It can be someone that does something as simple as just writing one course one time to someone that has an arsenal of teachings. But I believe that most of these things ring true on all levels of people that inspire you to a certain degree. Just because there is so much truth in what I'm about to say. And the reason that I feel like this is important information to share and to actually talk about is just because we get so caught up with these people thinking that they are so much different than us, and we like increasingly like bring ourselves down and put them up on a pedestal. And I just kind of want to level the playing field and not to discredit all of the work that these people have done, because obviously if they have something that you don't have, chances are they've become someone that you're not. And I always like to remind myself that yes, it is beautiful to be manifesting all of these things, but you still have to be realistic with yourself, and you need to keep on working harder if you don't have the physical manifestations of what you want. Or, tap into your divine timing. That's neither here nor there. That's another topic of conversation for another day. But this applies to pretty much everyone that you look up to, whether they're your mentors, your inspiration, your guides, healers, people that are helping you on your path, people that are helping you learn. They're also learning. They are also going through their own path. Because if you think about it, if I could bring myself back in time, there were a ton of things that I learned super valuable lessons from. Like that one of just the three gratitude, the three gratitude exercise. Like I remember being in such a low place mentally, and I couldn't even come up with my three gratitudes for the day. That was a struggle for me, and that was a level that I was playing at, but like it or not, I actually had to go through that struggle to learn that skill, to understand how powerful it is, and then, years later see the compound effect of that and be able to be like, wow, like this actually works. But it was only because I was presented with a situation where my mindset was so terrible and I was like such in a dark place that was actually something that helped me out. And so it is so difficult to be able to learn lessons because unless you've been through it, it's not really something that you can relate to. Like, I can tell you about what it's like to be a woman, but if you're a man, you're never going to fully understand. And vice versa. You can tell me what it's like to be a man, but if if I'm not a man, it's just not something that I can experience. Maybe that's the wrong topic because all you little snowflakes out there won't even be able to process what I just said. But regardless, like if you have lived something, for example, I've been homeless. I can tell you what it's like to be homeless, but until you're homeless, I don't think that you fucking know what it's like to be showering at the gym, to be getting ready at the gym, to be, having so much time on your hands. Let's not get into it. But it's just not something that's relatable. But these people that are sent here to help us heal and to help us guide, the collective consciousness into developing and literally raising everyone's vibration. And it can be in any level, like any area that these people are helping me learn is important because we need growth in all areas and in all different walks of life. But obviously, those people have to be presented with struggles or with opportunities to learn valuable lessons. And most of the time, let's be honest, that is how people learn. Normally, people are going through some kind of struggle, and that is when they end up hitting rock bottom that they really put, the elbow grease into it and the work, and then they start moving forward. And another thing that I wanted to remind you of is that most people that you look up to probably started where you are or lower. And so, I mean, obviously, this isn't going to apply to everyone. There's some people that were born into rich families, but I just want to remind you that it's less than 20% of multimillionaires and millionaires that exist. It's less than 20% of them that were born into that. So a lot of people probably started where you are or lower and they made it to where they are. But they can't do that by looking consistently at other people. They have to be looking at their own project that's in front of them and be working on it. And also another thing is, as the world progresses, there's more and more resources and more tools. Like, I look at the people that are graduating high school. I graduated in 2019, so at this point, that's like 5 years ago. I look at the people that are just graduating now and they're like jacked, and I am wondering what the fuck. And it's not like just a few of them, okay? That would be understandable, like you're an anomaly, okay, like pass, and then you like move on to the next thing. But no, literally, like there are so many people that are like in high school and graduating that are jacked right now, and I'm like, how? Because they're not living in the same world. When I remember going to the gym in high school, I was like one of the maybe 5 to 10 people in our high school that was going to the gym on a regular basis. And yeah, I did have a coach and I was learning and I was doing a lot of studying in that area. But like, compared to the fucking tools that these people have, when you look at someone that's already been on that path, just remember that all their tools and resources were coming from an older world than you have. And so since we have so much information and the world is growing at such a rapid rate, I just want you to understand that they had like probably less resources. It was probably more of a struggle for them to get to where they are. And they had overall an older world. And so it was just completely different. Like, I see these people that are like in high school and I'm like, yo, they are literally jacked. Like, I do not understand. But then you think like, okay, but what kind of tools and resources do they have available to them? You know what I mean? Everything over time has been made so much simpler for them. And that is such a fucking benefit. It's crazy. The last few things is that there is ugliness in failure as well as there's ugliness in success. And I was just driving today thinking that some people will discourage you from wanting a lot of money because they're going to say, well, money doesn't equal happiness, or like, if you have money but you don't have your health. By the way, I want to punch every fucking person that says that in the face. Like, if you have like, all the money in the world but you don't have health, like what do you really have? Like, fuck you, bitch. Shut the fuck up and let people live their lives and let people dream and let people, max out. Like, those are the same people that are like, drive safe, be careful, live small, die quickly. Like, don't risk anything, arrive safely at death. Like, just, oh my God, no, I literally cannot. I cannot. There's ugliness in both, okay? When I show up at someone's doorstep and I smell cat piss from outside, and I know that these people will not pass a credit check if their life depended on it, and they have like just shit all over the place, there is ugliness in there, okay? And you know what? There's also ugliness when you get to different levels of success that is stuff you wouldn't have even noticed or could have imagined at that level. And yeah, there's ugliness everywhere, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop pushing for your goals. Okay, you know what? If anyone doesn't have their health, of course they're going to want their health, but that has nothing to do with you manifesting abundance in your life. So be like that, and then literally focus on what you want and keep on going. Do not let these little bitches talk you out of anything when it comes to this life, because you have one try at it and you're not going to get a second go. And then perception on your journey is going to be your strongest asset. So this is something that gets tested a lot, especially like if you're on this journey. Like, I'm assuming that you probably vibe with me because we're probably similar and we're here to like make an impact in the world, and we're here to make changes. We're here to elevate ourselves so that we can elevate other people around us. And I know that your perception is literally going to get tested. And I know that sometimes you're going to want to curl up and like crawl back into your turtle shell and be like, fuck this. I don't want to keep on going. Everything is bad. This is hard. And I get it. And sometimes you need to like just have a minute down there. And I'm not saying stay down there, but like, girl, sometimes it just is hard for real. And sometimes it is just sad for real. But the moment that you realize that you are the one that controls that perception is the moment that you can actually start to turn it around. I have been talking about this lately on here if you've been watching my past videos. Getting pregnant and having all of these changes to my body was really hard. Like my ego was like, ooh, that's hard. Like that's tough. Um, and I'm just being real. So you know what? I did have a moment where I was fucking upset. And I did have a moment where I was like, you know what? This is definitely a challenge because I had like zero motivation and zero energy. And it was like brute force that got me back to getting on my fucking program, getting my ass back to the gym, and getting my macros on point and, you know, tracking my calories. And sometimes you're going to have that. But your perception is literally your strongest asset because when you are able to perceive things in a different way, then you're able to change your mindset about it and then get yourself back into action. And that is going to be something that you're going to need time and time again because if you are the type of person that gets knocked down, which I mean, I'm sure most of us do. There's some freaks of nature out there, but like most of us get knocked down and like it's just hard. It's just tough. But once you get past that point, I'm sure it's fun. But if you're still in the stage of getting knocked down and like having to get back up and get back on your routine and get back on your program, then your perception of looking at that is going to be your strongest asset. And of course, you can have your routine on lock, but there's still other aspects of life that are going to test you, man. And you're going to feel like you're falling flat on your face. And if you're able to turn it around in your mind, that is the first place that it turns around. And then you're able to turn it around for real in your life. But I just kind of wanted to put everyone more on a level playing field instead of putting everyone on pedestals. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, sure, we have our differences, but everyone is like 98 to 99% alike. And so the more that we focus on those pieces of us that are alike, the more that we can actually see that, you know what, we can tap into that potential and we can rise to that level. And, you know, it seems like Mount Everest when you're at the bottom, but if you just focus on the steps in front of you and doing what is required of you, then it's actually crazy how far you can get by just focusing on playing your own game instead of looking over and seeing what everyone else is doing. So, as always, if you want more content like this, like and subscribe. I would love to have you part of the family, and I will see you in a few days.